everything changes.
All right, so I'm in Pittsburgh. I couldn't not go to my favorite place. You guys know how much I love Dave & Buster's because we have one near my old house right down the street, but still pretty close to my new house. I love D&B, so Star and Keith brought me to here. And this particular D&B, I'm so wowed. Of course, I'm from up north, but it's been so long that the north has hills and like mini mountains-ish, sort of. Anyhow, this place has a second story deck that you can actually sit up here and eat and drink. It's the middle of the day, middle of the afternoon, middle of the week, so there's no one here. It's awesome, actually. But this deck has a view, right? It's not like Florida views, but it's a view. It's a big hill. It's scary roads. Driving around here is insane, but D&B's. While I'm in Pittsburgh, why not? Have lunch at Dave & Buster's and play a couple games. So since we're talking about the difference in Pittsburgh or PA North versus Florida, Tampa Dave & Buster's, which I just talked about out there, let's talk about, oh yeah, hi. Let's talk about what I couldn't get on the menu in Pennsylvania versus Tampa. So I tried to order first thing, wings, very first thing, no wings.
No fish and chips.
No fish and chips, which is like a go-to secondary thing for me, I kind of like.
But we have a fish and tuna shortage up here right now.
A fish and tuna shortage, a seafood shortage. I'm assuming it all comes from Florida, so it's probably our fault.
Or up north in Maine.
Maine, yeah. Either way, y'all in the middle are all screwed up. And I couldn't even get a Woodford Reserve Old Fashioned. I had to settle for a Maker's Mark. Isn't that like first world problem? So
not a Maker's Mark.
So 3 reasons why I can't live in Pennsylvania ever, and thank God we'll be back in Florida in like 3 days. So thumbs up for a great experience at D&B.
Hey, I'm having a good time.
As soon as I get a drink, I'll be having a good time.
I got a backwoods blueberry lemonade. Those are very good.
How appropriate. So as promised, a little video from the hills of Pittsburgh. And we're at Waterworks, and we're gonna try what is supposed to be, Keith says, the best burger ever. Hell of a burger, Heavenly Shakes, Purgatory. So I made it to Pittsburgh with Star's inventory, not my inventory, but you get the point. They're moving, so we're moving a whole bunch of stuff out. All right, so inventory, like I said, that doesn't belong to me because I am in Pittsburgh, where I promised you guys I would be. I'll show you outside in a few minutes. What better than things that don't belong to me being in my video? Hi, Star. Hi. She doesn't even say hi. See, she's on my video and she can't even say hi.
Hi, guys.
That was your cue to say hi.
Hi, everybody.
See? So anyways, yeah, we're just kind of sitting around waiting for the moving truck. Everything's packed up and boxed, so I didn't have any idea what to actually make a video about. Yeah, so I was like, I'll film the inventory and then I'll show them outside and then they'll believe me that I'm in Pittsburgh. But I did get requests to do a follow-up to the videos I did last week on like the 25 best toys and electronics and all that stuff. And the request was 25 shoe brands. So what better place to do shoe brands than with the person that loves shoes more than anything ever. She hates shoes, actually. Keith likes them more than all of us combined. Shoes are his favorite thing. You should see him.
He likes to touch them.
He just gave me...
And then not wash his hands and eat.
He gave me his one-word, two-word, one-finger opinion of shoes just now, so in case you're wondering. But on a serious note, when we get back to Florida, which we will be back in Florida at some point in a few days, I have about 300 pairs of shoes that are unlisted, unsorted. They're all good. They're all quality. None of them are junk. Probably only going to throw away a couple pairs. But they have to be sorted and cleaned and wiped down.
I'm not doing it. I want no parts of it. I have plush waiting there for me.
I'm not telling her where the plush is until she helps me with the shoes, in case you guys are wondering. So
I can help you with the shoes. I'll just set them on fire.
So as a future video, it'll be shoes with Star. See?
Star set shoes on fire.
Star sells shoes.
Star set shoes on fire.
When we get back to Florida, we're going to be selling shoes. So
oh my God, shoes.
Maybe we'll do some wholesale. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys a little bit outside of Pittsburgh. I showed you the airport. And then Pittsburgh has hills. Any of you live in Pennsylvania and know that Pittsburgh has hills? Any of you live in Florida and don't know that Pittsburgh has hills? Because they do, I promise.
There's hills here, guys.
It's weird.
And apparently if you're a flatlander, they're weird.
That's a floorlander. Florida lander? I don't know.
You're originally from Maryland, though.
I know, but we don't have hills on the Chesapeake.
They got hills down there.
Not on the Chesapeake Bay.
They got hills over yonder.
yonder. Anyways, I'll show you a little bit, and then I'm gonna cut this, and then it'll pick up back on my screen where I'll show you.
He's just gonna probably cut me out altogether.
Probably. I will show you guys the 25 shoe brands. I already wrote them up on my thing. I already did screenshots of solds of those brands, and then I'll just do a little recording and show them to you. So get your pen and paper, get your bullet journals ready, guys, and I will do 25 shoe brands. When we get back to Florida, we will have proper recording areas, and Star will be able to put up videos, so I will, of course, link her channel so you can subscribe to her and watch her new We Moved to Florida videos. So
Yep.
stay tuned for this.
I'm actually going to do a series on how to move
Lord.
a business across the country.
It's actually a good video.
So I'm going to tell you everything we did wrong, so you can learn from our mistakes, and
That's-
everything we did right, so you know what to do.
And by everything, she means everything was done wrong. We'll record the videos when we get to Florida, so look for those in like a week or two, because we won't be down for like a few days to a week, and then we need time to record. So that'll be the video. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss it. And
Flippin' hippos.
Flippin' hippos, yeah. Let's
Flippin' hippos.
jump over to my computer and check out 25 shoe brands that Star absolutely loves to work on and sell and clean and get her hands all
To
inside.
touch them and then eat.
Yeah, gross. Let's do it, guys. All right, number one is Fry Boots, a women's brand. Sorry for the small screen here. It's screen recording on my phone because I'm in Pittsburgh and not on the iPad that I can normally rotate to landscape mode. Apparently, the iPad iOS rotates and the iPhone does not. Pretty weird. Android rotates on the phone. So anyways, Fry Boots for women range from the 30s on up to the 50s, 60s, and 70s. You can clearly see as I scroll through, this is used, solds only. I haven't sorted by size. 3,900 listings in the last 90 days. So pretty good amount, selling somewhere around like 45 a day. Or more, 50 a day almost. So lots of average sale prices above 40s and 50s on these. 63, 75, 64, 54 all in, 44 all in, 40 all in, 50 all in. So you can see you should be able to easily average 40 plus on these, 50 plus on a majority of them. Now they do make men's, but they're very, very rare. You'll find almost all women's in Fry Boots. Anything leather boots does real well, but these hold up super good. All the ones we've sold, you know, when you see a lot of boots, the leather's peeling or stripping off, or they're bent, or they're like dry rotted. These Fry Boots hold up really, really good. So generally there's no returns on them, and a good $40, $50 average sale price. So try to pick them up for $10 or less. All right, number two is Nike Jordan shoes. So of course, anything with Nike, LeBron, Jordan, just running basketball is always worth money. You have to look up every brand, every style, every size combo. One can be worth 30 and one can be worth 130. So it's important to look them all up, but thousands and thousands of pairs of these sell every day, every week, and every month. So that is an obvious one to put on the list. If you don't know about it, you're sleeping under a rock. But Nike Air Jordans, Nike LeBrons, Kobe's, the whole shebang, all worth a ton of money. All right, the next one is the Vibram shoes, the fingerless shoes. This one right here is what we see a lot of. They're like the running track shoes. They have like the individual 5 fingers, typically 40, 45 bucks. New Balance makes a Minimus, which is one that I've ran with. They're 120, 140, $150 shoes. Typically they'll sell for $40 to $50 on the used market. This one sold for 55. So bright colors, different designs, you know, the blue, the orange, really good. So Vibram, running shoes, finger shoes, and also the New Balance minimums will fetch you at least 30, if not 40 to 50. All right, number 4 is Yeezys, of course, by Kanye West and his Yeezy line of shoes, the Boost, all the foam runners, things like that. They always sell out. They always become like a hot, you know, seller on the market, especially brand new for the pre-orders. But also in the used market, still worth in the hundreds, if not $200s of dollars. You have to learn the models. Please be cautious. They're heavily, heavily faked. We know that. But Yeezys, you can see scrolling down, worth quite a bit of money. So if you can learn the market, very, very good thing to resell. They're kind of like the Supremes and all the hype products, but they just do really, really well because they're so limited. And Yeezy's line of shoes has made him a billionaire. Knocking all of these ones out of the ballpark first. So 5 is Adidas. Any of the basketball shoes from Adidas, any of like the Kobe's or any famous players that have Adidas shoe lines. Also Adidas normal running shoes. I actually have a pair of Adidas gray runners that I paid like, I don't know, like 80 bucks for, brand new. And I looked them up used. They're still worth the same shoe, like $45. So I'm not selling mine, but I'm just saying they do hold value pretty good. So if you could find a pair of, like the shoes I have used in the thrift store, 7, 8, 9 bucks, you could sell them for $45, $50. So always keep an eye out. Any of the named runner and basketball shoes, and also any just that look, cool, that have grays and silvers and blacks, they tend to do well. Just use basketball shoes. We covered Nike, covered New Balance, Yeezys, Adidas, so they all do really well. All right, so Skechers is a great popular brand. Their memory foams tend to do well. I mean, here's a pair of 35s, 25s, pair of 31, pair of 35. Typically, a lot of the Skechers and the memory foams will be $25 and up pairs. Here's a pair that sold for $51 special, but still, there it is again for $35, for $30. A lot of Skechers and slip-ons and memory foams can be worth $30 plus, at least $25 to $30, if not $40. So keep an eye out for those as well. Pretty popular brand. My mom actually loves Skechers memory foam shoes. I get her a pair all the time, and generally they're probably like 70, 80 bucks brand new at the store, but they hold their value pretty good. All right, men's leather dress shoes. There'll be a few brands on this list, but Bostonian men's dress shoes. Typically, I will get anywhere from around 60-ish on up on the vintage ones, as high as in the hundreds. For some of the newer model ones, you're looking at things like 35, 40. I see these ones at 20s and 30s, but I see a lot of them in the 44s. 35 plus 15 is 50, but they took a best offer. They really should be selling for in the 30s to 40s. This is probably the lower end one that we'll be covering, but I see them all the time. Not a ton of solds, but generally I can stick $39.99 on these and I'll get it as long as they're in good shape and not torn apart. I don't know what's up with these people selling them for, $17, $20 seems really low. This one for $33, $34 is probably one of the lower ones that I see, but Bostonian, $35s, $40 pretty regularly. Number 8, Tory Burch sandals. Everything she touches is pretty much gold. Easy 30, 40 on almost every pair. Majority of them in the 60s, 70s. Some of them as high as in the hundreds. If you're finding Tory Burch and it's real, make sure you know how to tell it's real. There's a ton of fakes, but at least 35, 40 minimum, in good shape, of course. 50, 60, 70 is pretty regular on a lot of these, and even some, again, up in the hundreds. So keep an eye out for Tory Burch. All she touches is gold. All right, number 9, just women's wedges and sandals in general. Pretty much any brand that is decent that you've heard of. Dolce & Gabbana. We talked about, Tory Burch. These are Teva. They're decent. Any of the ones that have wedge sandals that are good quality. Cole Haan makes a good one. These Cole Haan ankle strap one, espadrille wedges. Espadrille, is that how they say it? I don't know. These are all good though. Cole Haan is a good brand to actually keep an eye out for. Clark's makes that. We'll mention those in a future one. Anything that you see with good, cute ankle straps, strappies, gemstones, bedazzled. Fry has some. Just in general, women's platforms and wedges, really good. Ah, yes, the Harley Davidson motorcycle boots, leather boots, riding boots, all good. These things have such a huge range, 30, 40, on up to 100. Check the solds, check the size. The size makes a huge difference. So as soon as you can type in what they are and the size, you'll come up with a pretty good idea, used, of course, and then come back and check, men's versus women's, all that sort of stuff. Pretty easy to narrow these ones down, but they do really, really well. 2,800 pair in the last 90 days. Majority of them in the 40s to 60 range. Again, some a little cheaper, some a little more expensive. You'll find some 80s and $100 ones. So Harley boots, another one. Again, we're trying on normal stuff. I try to average that 25, 30. On shoes, we're trying to average 30 to 40 or higher. All right, number 11, Jimmy Choo. All you women will love these. Clearly one of the best designers. The shoes are expensive, hundreds of dollars. A lot of the used ones, 70, 80, up to 100 plus. I see a lot of people in the Poshmark groups, Facebook groups, finding these for $20 and $30. They are worth $20, $25 purchase price because you can put, 95 on them, 85 on them. Of course, obviously check the solds because there are some that only sell for in the 30s and 40s. But the majority of these should be 50 plus for you. Jimmy Choo high heel shoes. Lots of size and design combos that will make them worth more money as always. All right, number 12, Allen Edmonds. These are the better dress shoes. You should be able to target 50, 60 plus on most of these. You can see the 35 plus 17, that's 52. We got an 88. We got, 42, don't know why, a little low, but we got a 92 there. We've got, again, another 28, not sure why. A lot of size, style combinations will do that. We've got ones in the hundreds. We got one that sold here for, 19 and 14, so $33, $34. We got another one that sold for $29, $30. This one sold for $190. You're looking for Oxfords. Obviously, those are good. Here's a $70 pair. So really, most Allen Edmonds, 75% of them should sell above $50, $60. Really just a good brand to look for. Keep an eye out for them. I actually wear these myself. I have a pair of these black ones that some of you have seen me in. In fact, some of you pointed them out when we were at a meetup and said, oh my God, Allen Edmonds, how much did you pay for those? $10 at a thrift store. All right, number 13, Christian Louboutin red bottom shoes. Obviously, the Christian Louboutin in general do really well. Hundreds of dollars if you actually look up Christian Louboutin red bottom shoes and then go to your solds. Make sure you do, again, check for authenticity. They're very few and far between listed, but when you do, you will find them very, very high end. Again, there's a fake pair right there, but they are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. On the used market, brand new, it doesn't matter. They sell Christian Louboutins as long as they are real. All right, number 14, Converse Chuck Taylors specifically. You guys know what they look like. They're super awesome looking for a lot of people. They're vintage, 40s, 50s all day long on majority of them. That's generally the average. 35, 36 to 46 is what you're looking at targeting. There are some rare ones that can go for 50, 60, but for the most part, here's one that you'll never find, the Hidden Heart one. They're $125 sneakers, but for the most part, you're going to find that mid 30s, mid 40s range for a majority of them. So something you can pick up for less than $10, all in on the Chuck Taylors, grab them. If there's some of those rare ones like these 70s Boston Celtic ones, $102. Again, unlikely you'll find those. There's the Joker villain ones. They sold for $75, best offer, all in. So definitely go hunting for some of these if you happen to stumble across them. Of course, they're really easy to spot in the store. So if you see them, pick them up. Number 15, Vans. Some of these really cheap, but some of them with good designs on them. Mid 30s, 25s, 35s. Another one you have to really look for the designs. Here's one that was $61 listed for. It was tropical, and they took a best offer, so that was a good one. But then you've got just a regular plain Jane pair of black ones that sold for 9 plus 10, so 19. Tough to make money on those when it's $10 to ship them. But a lot of these, with cool designs, 45, and this was the Star Wars skate shoe, and they took a best offer, but still $45. Best offer figure $39.40. You got some Van Gogh ones that are worth hundreds of dollars. You've got the Simpsons Bart Classic one. This one was listed for $40. Looks like they took a best offer plus 20 shipping, so 60. Best offer, they made 50. So there's the Spider-Man, 75 and 8, $85. Can really do well on some of these designs. So keep an eye out for our number 15 Vans. All right, number 16, any brand, really, steel toe boots tend to do really, really well. Of course, there are some specific brands you can look for. Obviously, if they're designer brands or higher end brands, they're going to do great. But steel toe in general are going to be $40, $50 items and up. Some of them 60, 70. Some of the military brand ones can be even higher. But you guys can see almost every one of these pairs are at least $40. Now, of course, they cost a lot to ship, so do be careful of those $20, $25 shipping labels. But generally speaking, 50 and up, 60, 70 up could leave you some room to make some money. All right, 17, Tom's shoes. You guys probably saw the commercials. Every time someone bought a pair, they would donate a pair. They're not real expensive. I think the brand new ones were like $40, $50, but they still fetch, on the used market, generally 20s, $25. Tom's tend to do well. Cool designs, different unique ones can get 25, 30, but generally you're looking at a $20, $25 average. The good thing about Tom's is I've shipped a ton of them first class. I've wrapped them in a piece of bubble wrap, stuck them inside of a big poly, and they ship pretty easily. They don't get damaged. I've never had a complaint, and I could sell them for 25. I paid maybe like $3 for them, so 22. First class would be 5, 17, less than fees. I can make 13, $14 on them. So pay attention to Tom's shoes. All right, number 18, Wolverine and Red Wing boots. They're, kind of higher and expensive, more boots. Easy with the steel toe ones to get, again, 40s and 50s on most of these. If you look up the Red Wings, you'll find the vintage, of course, can be worth in the hundreds. The vintage ones, harder to find. But if we go to pre-owned Red Wings, there's 7,500, and if we go to solds, there are 5,100 of them, and you will see consistent $50 to $70 prices. And then of course these, you know, older and vintage and more unique ones in the hundreds. So you can kind of add that into your list with number 16, the steel toe boots, but specifically number 18, Wolverine and Red Wing boots are the really good sellers. Red Wing better than Wolverine, but both good. All right, number 19, everyone's favorite, the Birkenstocks. We all know they're 40s, 50s, even if they have this grossness on them. Everyone makes fun of these in the Facebook groups for all the dirty toes or whatever. This pair sold for $40, free shipping. But anyways, they're easily in the 30s and 40s. A lot of them 45, 44, 48, $50. Some older ones, smaller ones, only in the 28s to 30s. But you can see this one sold for $27.50 and this one sold for $51. So generally speaking, I try to average at least 35 to 40 on these, if not 45. So that means you can pay upwards of like $8, $10, ship them. Careful, they are a little heavy, but Birkenstock, just a really popular, really good selling brand. They have a super high sell-through rate also. 14,000 pairs of these have sold in the last 90 days, just on the used side, and then of course brand new. All right, number 20 on the list, Clarks. Now they make men's shoes also, but generally you're going to find a lot more of the women's. There's 15,000 in the women's, and there's only a couple thousand in the men's. So, you know, probably like 6 to 1 women's to men's, but a lot of these can be $30 averages. There are some cheap ones. Be careful the cheap ones. You see some of these weird sizes and just plain Jane silver ones, only $18, $20. Still a decent sale price, but you want these $30, $40 ones. So we're talking about these loafers that sold for $29. We're talking about this pair that was up for $39 and took a best offer. This pair was up for $36 and they took a best offer. So you can easily, this one was up for $51 and they took it. That's because they were tan and suede. Another one that was up for $45, another one up for $38. So you should be able to average 30 plus, if not 35 on these. Generally with shoes, when you know you're spending 10 or 12 on a label and $3 or $4 on fees, you know you're 15 all in, and you know, assuming you paid $5 or $6 for the pair, your break even is 20, 21. You really need 30 to make $10, 35 to make 15. So that's where you want to be. 21 is Crocs. A lot of them are cheapos. Be careful, but there are some special edition. These green and orange ones, they were up for $29, best offer. These yellow banded ones were up for $25. These ones, baby infant one, pink ones, actually sold for $21. You know, again, another $32 one. So look up the style. These Crocs with the rainbows on them, these ones sold for $43. So typically the plain, solid, you know, everyday run-of-the-mill ones, not really worth it. You'll get $15 for them if you're lucky, after fees and shipping a couple dollars. But some of these special edition ones, these rainbows, these circles, these, you know, orange and greens can be $30, $35. And then you can make some money. And some of the kid ones as well. All right, Steve Madden, the documentary about him was super good. I have a pair of Steve Madden black dress shoes. They're not overly expensive. You can buy them brand new for like $60, $70. Generally on the used market, a lot of these shoes are going to be in the 20, 25 range. But if you can find some of the bigger, you know, like higher top, higher base ones, they're 35s. There's a pair right there. Those P. Ivon 982 Browns that sold for 35. So some of those are in the 30s. That's what you're looking for. You know, men's or women's. The men's dress shoes are really comfortable. I like them. The women's, I heard hold up really good. Steve Madden was a good producer, but here's some of the vintage slip-on sandals. Those sold for $70. His slip-on sandals do pretty well. The slip-on dress shoes as opposed to the tie dress shoes will do just as good. Here's the slip-on loafers. These are wovens. They were up for $82. They took a best offer, but still $82 best offer is pretty good. This pair was the Wedge comfy shoes. They only got, you know, about $26 for those. Decent, but not great. So you always have to look up these solds. But the slip-ons will typically do well. Again, here's a $36 slip-on. So if you find Steve Madden slip-ons, definitely look those up. All right, number 23, Dansko. These sell as fast as Birkenstocks. They're not worth quite as much on the used market. These are a solid $35 item, average sale price, maybe 40s. The strappy ones can do better, but you know, again, Dansko is just a brand. As soon as you list them, they sell. Currently 13,000 on the used, sold market 90 days, and about 25,000 total. So over 50% sell-through rate for the last 90 days. Pretty good for Dansko. Look up all of them, but generally, if you're paying under $10, it's a good investment. If you're paying 10 or more, you need to really look up the solds to make sure you can get 40 plus for them. Number 24 is a designer brand. You see me sell the shirts, the ties, the shoes are also really popular from Salvatore Ferragamo. Slip-on loafers, as with every other brand in category, they're really good. The leather, the suede will always do better. Some of these are $500 retail shoes. Here's a 660 Cabo that sold for $375 used. Probably rare. You probably won't see them. But even their dress shoes, you know, 70, 80, $100 on the used market. Why? Because they're $200 to $250 brand new retail. So when you're selling a $250 retail pair of shoes, you can get almost $100 for them. Again, 72, 76, that one 44, that one 174, $92. So you can see a lot of $60, $70, $80 pairs in Ferragamo. So keep an eye out for them. They are faked, not as often as things like Jimmy Choo or Christian Louboutins, but there are fake Ferragamo, so do pay attention to that. All right, I sold one of my favorite things for last. It's Doc Marten boots. They do fantastic. They're handmade. Of course, they're European. They're London. If you go on YouTube and you actually type in how Doc Martens are made, there's a video from inside. It's actually from their company inside the factory showing how they hand stitched them and how they've done it for hundreds of years, how they made them for like World War II or people in the war and had Doc Marten boots. They're combat boots. They're hiking boots. They're super comfortable, apparently. They're really, really well made and they hold up forever. If you find vintage ones from 20, 30, 40 years ago, they're worth boatload, something I can't say on YouTube, but even the regular brands, 60, 70, 80 bucks on the used market. Those vintage ones, 140, 160 all day long. So keep an eye out. Here's a woman's pink pair that sold for $76.55. That's pretty cool. If you get the red ones with the yellow stitching, those are worth like $100. So keep an eye out for any of those unique ones. But the last on the list, number 25, is Doc Marten boots. They're European British and they sell for a pretty penny. And that will wrap up the 25 shoes as requested by you guys. We are going to prepare to pack and get ready to head back down to the road to Tampa. So enjoy this video. I'll have it up for you along with one other video. Make sure you support our small sellers of the month and of the day, July 21st, 22nd. Today, when you see this, will be the 22nd, so you'll see both sellers. Please visit their stores, follow them, buy something, help them beat summer slowdown. And until the next video, I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And thank you, Christine and Kathy, for being our small sellers. Broke, Life, Thrift, and Vintage 937 down in the description box below. I'll see you guys next time.